with it? Do it cause I love it and I stuck with it. We ain't with the subbing in the cut with it. Please none of the talks, I heard enough of it. Like, what you gonna do? Where you at? Who you with? You ain't really about this, don't talk about it. Really on the move, on the map, never slip. Keep your hands to your lips, don't talk about it. Real eyes, real lies all the time. Stand on it, if we said it, we don't walk around it. Loose lips, ain't shifts, red cup, blue strips, new phone, who this? No, we don't allow it. Really on go, I don't know what's an off day. Now we on road, came from smoking in the hallway. Now we got shows, boys feeling like Broadway. Always look both ways, even on a crossway. Driving down Cross Bay, out town Barclays. Really on big things, came up a small way. Championship rings, baby, that's a ball game. Oh, she want a little bag, baby, that's small change. Yeah, that money talk. If we ain't cool, then cut me off. No breaking news, don't run your mouth. Throw the what's up with it? Do it cause I love it and I stuck with it. We ain't with the subbing in the cut with it. Please none of the talks, I heard enough of it. Like, what you gonna do? Where you at? Who you with? You ain't really about this, don't talk about it. Really on the move, on the map, never slip. Keep your hands to your lips, don't talk about it. Real eyes, real lies all the time. Stand on it, if we said it, we don't walk around it. Loose lips, ain't shifts, red cup, blue strips, new phone, who this? No, we don't allow it. Really on go, I don't know what's an off day. Now we on road, came from smoking in the hallway. Now we got shows, boys feeling like Broadway. Always look both ways, even on a crossway. Driving down Cross Bay, out town Barclays. Really on big things, came up a small way. Championship rings, baby, that's a ball game. Oh, she want a little bag, baby, that's small change. Yeah, that money talk. If we ain't cool, then cut me off. No breaking news, don't run your mouth. Throw the what's up with it? Do it cause I love it and I stuck with it. We ain't with the subbing in the cut with it. Please none of the talks, I heard enough of it. Like, what you gonna do? Where you at? Who you with? You ain't really about this, don't talk about it. Really on the move, on the map, never slip. Keep your hands to your lips, don't talk about it. Real eyes, real lies all the time. Stand on it, if we said it, we don't walk around it. Loose lips, ain't shifts, red cup, blue strips, new phone, who this? No, we don't allow it. Really on go, I don't know what's an off day. Now we on road, came from smoking in the hallway. Now we got shows, boys feeling like Broadway. Always look both ways, even on a crossway. Driving down Cross Bay, out town Barclays. Really on big things, came up a small way. Championship rings, baby, that's a ball game. Oh, she want a little bag, baby, that's small change. Yeah, that money talk. If we ain't cool, then cut me off. No breaking news, don't run your mouth. Throw the what's up with it? Do it cause I love it and I stuck with it. We ain't with the subbing in the cut with it. Please none of the talks, I heard enough of it. Like, what you gonna do? Where you at? Who you with? You ain't really about this, don't talk about it. Really on the move, on the map, never slip. Keep your hands to your lips, don't talk about it. Real eyes, real lies all the time. Stand on it, if we said it, we don't walk around it. Loose lips, ain't shifts, red cup, blue strips, new phone, who this? No, we don't allow it. Really on go, I don't know what's an off day. Now we on road, came from smoking in the hallway. Now we got shows, boys feeling like Broadway. Always look both ways, even on a crossway. Driving down Cross Bay, out town Barclays. Really on big things, came up a small way. Championship rings, baby, that's a ball game. Oh, she want a little bag, baby, that's small change. Yeah, that money talk. If we ain't cool, then cut me off. No breaking news.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Walking This Way's Impact Wars podcast. I'm the CEO and founder, Furman Jackson Jr. I'm broadcasting live once again from the DFW, that is Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas. We're glad to be with you one more time on the last day of February, the month of February, going into March tomorrow. So you have to ask yourself, From January to February, have you seen the progress or you step back? Remember, we get so excited when it comes to December 31st, going to January 1st. We say, this is my year, this is my season, I'm going to work out, I'm going to do this, blah, 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 blah. Before you know it, we go right back into our reality. Not everybody, but some. So we ready to go into a third month, 23. Either you're going to be about your business or you just going to get left behind. You got to be about your business. I'm very excited to be here with some beautiful people tonight, of course. You know, some educated people, of course. And we have a new teammate. We have stand-up comedian Dexter with us. He's going to be bringing sports here with us. And I put the word out. He accepted it. So I don't know what he's going to bring. And not only that, I have my blood relatives with me tonight. And that's my cousin, Keisha. She's with us. She's an author, of course. I have a book. Networking is your superpower. So we're going to be talking about networking. We're going to be talking about building relationships. She's an expert. She has the wisdom. She has the knowledge. If you're about your business, you're serious about networking, you're serious about developing a relationship, she is the go-to person. She's going to bring a wealth of knowledge. If you're serious about, if you're an entrepreneur, whether you're building your brand, she's going to bring expertise on how to take your business to the next level. If you're serious about it. So I'm very excited to have my cousin. Matter of fact, we do have another book author in the family too, Selena. She wrote a book. I had her last year. So it runs in the family, of course. A lot of gifted people in the family, of course. And of course, I have my little sister with me, Coach Shay, as well, with the brick wall going on. So Shay, what's going on with you?
Oh, thank you for the warm welcome and hello everybody. I'm so excited to see new faces and welcome Dexter. Welcome to the podcast family and welcome as well Mrs. Kesh. Welcome to the podcast family. You know, like after you come to the podcast, you just automatically become family. So we are so happy to have you here tonight. I can't wait to see. I love networking. Like, it's my jam. So I'll definitely purchase the book just so I can get some extra pointers. I'm always seeking education, knowledge. It's always room for improvement. So I love that. I love networking. I feel like networking is one of my superpowers, and a lot of people I think we don't do a lot of networking. Well, first, COVID cut off our networking. So a lot of people trying to get back in the groove of networking. Well, it cut off our in-person connection.
Okay.
It cut off our in-person. Yeah, it cut off our in-person connection. And the online connection is not the same as the in-person. When you got to talk to people and be around them in person, it's not the same.
What?
A virtual connection in a physical meeting is different.
I hear everything that you're saying, and as we think about the power of energy is something that can be passed, whether we're virtual like this, you feel my energy, or whether I'm in person. So it's up to you to create that energy once you're connecting with people, and it gives you, hey, Brandy, and it gives you an opportunity to really build upon it. But it's all about the transfer of energy. And again, you can create it in person and you can create it virtual. Hey, Keisha Sanchez, you can do it any single way. But again, it's about the transfer of energy, and you speak out what you want. I'm just saying, Coach.
Yes, facts. I mean, I don't disagree with you, but I feel like virtual, like it's been a struggle for people to get back to connecting in person. Like, I hear a lot of people say, like, now I have social anxiety. A lot of people, y'all diagnosing your own self.
You know what? That kind of being lazy. Some people just being lazy now.
I got pointers for all of that. The biggest thing when it comes to that connection and being virtual, it's just about creating a game plan for what you want out of it first. And as you create that game plan and you stick to it, you can minimize a lot of the anxiety, the angst that's going to come from connecting when you have a game plan. It's all about that game plan, and it's all about knowing what you bring to the table. And like my mentor, Bernie Fraser, always says, asking yourself, What do I want? Is that the connection you want? Is it something that you can build? What is it that you want? And as you stick with that, that'll get you closer to that networking. And it's something that you have to constantly do. I won't say that the first time you do it, you're going to get it. It takes time to do that. I'm trying to find a link to the book so I can put it here for you all too.
That is so true. It takes time. It takes time building those connections and building up your courage to enter into these rooms and different places.
Yes,
and so definitely agree with that. Picking the goal is very important, because I used to go to these events, y'all, and I didn't have a goal.
And I say never go to a networking event without a game plan and a goal for what you want, because when you do it, you get out there and you're like,
and you like, I'm introducing myself, but what I'm introducing myself for? What is my goal? What am I trying to get out of these people? So that definitely helped when somebody else did tell me that, like, you gotta have a goal. So now it's like, okay, when I go, okay, this event, I'm gonna take 100 business cards. I'm trying to make sure I pass out all 100 business cards and connect with 100 people. That's my goal. So you really do have to set a goal for yourself.
Absolutely. And if you think about all of these opportunities that we've been having all of our lives and places that we go to connect, truthfully, once you understand the power of what's in that space and you know what you want and you have a game plan coupled with that, that's how much more powerful it can be. But the real game changer is the follow-up. Oftentimes we meet people, we hit it off, energy's fire, and then we don't do nothing with it. That's not going to get there.
You got to say the truth, because I be struggling.
That's where that game plan comes in. And in my book, I talk about creating that follow-up plan, creating that process, creating that strategy around networking. And I created and wrote the book because so many people say it's hard to connect. It's hard to connect. It's hard to network. I feel like this. And whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, understanding what you bring to the table, your gifts, your strengths, your confidence, it all comes with knowing who you are. And it starts inside first. We think that, we want to worry about everybody else around us. But when you know what you bring to the table and you know what you want and you got a goal, baby, you win.
Fire. Yeah.
That's it. And like I said, we was kicking out some good stuff before we get into the Q&A with my cousin, of course. I know they was chopping it up. We got Dexter with us as well. Dexter, he's going to be bringing sports with us. I know he is a stand-up comedian here in DFW. So don't know what he's going to bring. Don't know what he's going to say. So go ahead and let Dexter kick it off. Go ahead and kick it off, Dex, with the latest sports news, what you got created for us. And bring the laughs, of course.
I appreciate it, man. First of all, I want to thank Walking This Ways, and this is a great platform. I interviewed. Remember, we had an interview.
Yeah, the last was last.
Yeah. And so I definitely am a big fan of what you're doing, for sure. So first of all, happy Black History Month, and I'm gonna focus on. There's been a lot of Black history in the sports world, so I'm gonna kick it off with the Super Bowl. Y'all watch the Super Bowl? Was y'all going for anybody in particular during the Super Bowl?
I don't like the Eagles. I'm a Cowboys fan. I'll put for Kansas City.
See, I don't like the Eagles either. I love your hoodie, by the way. I don't like them at all.
You know it. You got to represent.
I was happy that they lost, honestly.
Now, of course, I was going for Kansas City because I'm in St. Louis. I was going for Kansas City. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
That's our other team outside of us having a real football team. Since the Rams been on whatever they've been on, we migrated to Kansas City.
And honestly, the teams were so good this year, you really couldn't, it really wasn't a bad pick. Whoever you picked had a really good chance of winning. It was also the first time that two Black quarterbacks had ever faced off in the Super Bowl. So that we know that was also history in the making as well. But as we know, the Chiefs, they buckled down the second half and they brought it home. Sorry, Eagle fans. If you listen, hey, no hate. Don't hate me. I'm just telling you what happened. All right, don't hate me. I didn't go out there and tackle nobody. I'm just telling you what I saw on the screen, and it looked like y'all got beat. So Cowboys gonna win next year, and that's all I'm gonna say on. That's all I'm gonna say on that. We have Lamar Jackson. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson is a very, very talented football player who still doesn't have a contract. I would like to claim racism in America. That's just me. But I would say that they need to pay that man because since he came in the league, like this man done won MVP at like 21 years old. Ain't nobody ever did that in the history of the league. Like this guy, all he do is win games for his team. You talk about a role model and somebody that's really you want to look up to. Lamar Jackson need to get his money. And I hope he see this so he can give me a little money too. You know, all I want about $50,000 Lamar for lobbying for you. That not $50K. $50K will make my day. All right. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm just happy. So you got Lamar Jackson, you got the Super Bowl, and then what's more Black history than Kyrie Irving coming to the Dallas Mavericks? Like that was probably the biggest thing. Like I've never seen too many Black people in the sports world tell white people to go to hell and get a job. So shout out to Kyrie Irving out there doing this thing, dribbling, finger roll, layup. I mess with it. He's a very talented guy. If you guys get a chance, go check him out. He does a lot of great things in the community as well. Not just with sports, like he gives money to charities. He helps out people in need, like through his foundation. So just kind of, odd that they try to demonize this young man in the media when he really is, he checks off the box as a good human by the standards that we set for people. So shout out to Kyrie Irving for doing this thing. And I don't know how y'all feel about the Lakers. I mean, not the Lakers. I don't know how y'all feel about the Mavericks, but Luka that guy. I think Luka Luka might be that guy. So we'll stay tuned for that. I'll come back and talk some more about that, Vermin. And the last sports update is I got my little babies. I got a 9-year-old and a 4-year-old. They in softball. Oh my God, they are so cute. I'm gonna tell you about these little babies. They are so cute. They be out there hitting that little ball and running. So look out for them. It's 2 giving girls on the rise. If you see them, hey, listen, it ain't gonna be a surprise. You can see it with your own eyes. I ain't lying. So,
Oh,
I know, man. I'm so proud of my kids, man. I'm so proud of my kids. But I also understand why, there's deadbeats. So sometimes I want to leave my kids alone. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like sometimes I tell my kids, like, y'all lucky that God placed in my heart to look after y'all. Because I know a lot of my friends, they was just in Miami last weekend. All my friends that don't take care of their kids in Miami last week. Hashtag on Instagram, beaches and bitches. I like going to the beach. I enjoy bitches. Why can't I do that? Here I am taking my kids to softball practice. So look out for them. It's gonna be a good thing.
Man, that's what's up, man. Like I said, big shouts out to the dads out there that is holding it down, of course. Big shouts out because I know that my dad was always there in my life and he worked hard, so I can relate to that. So big shouts out to the dads.
Yeah, man. I don't want my kids saying that my daddy wasn't around. I want my kids to say my daddy was there.
That's it.
That's important.
It
Daddies
is.
matter. Daddies matter.
The kids need both those connections. They need mom and they need dad. They need to get that balance, And a lot of times, we as people we get away from that. But it's very important for those kids to have that solid foundation of the mom, what her responsibilities are to the kids, and the father as well. So, shout out to all the parents out there. Y'all been hanging in there.
For sure. And speaking of parents, we got a new parent in the celebrity world, y'all. As y'all know, I got the tea, per usual. So we got Keke Palmer, y'all. She just had her first baby. Y'all. I'm mad at what she named him, but I love her. But I'm mad at his name. Nephew name is Leotis.
Leotis
Andrelton Jackson.
Oh Lord, he gonna be a singer of a...
Well, let me say this. That's probably her uncle, great uncle, daddy, cousin, granddaddy, somebody name. So I say honor the elders.
Woo!
For sure.
I would say honor the elders.
Give him a nickname.
In 2023.
Give him a nickname, Lily. Give him a nickname, Lily.
Leo.
I like Leo.
Leo, we're going to go with Leo.
I like Leo too.
We're going to go with Leo because we can't call you Leotis in 2023.
Leotis.
Remember that song, Leotis? Remember that song with Leotis' name on there? Y'all old enough to know that song.
Leotis. That sounds like a Mississippi.
It is.
She could have been better.
That's like a 1960s lead singer, Leotis and the
The Andrellington took me out. The Andrellington made him sound like we giving him a little some British,
I like it.
Andrellington.
I like it. Let me tell you why I like it. because that's her baby, and whatever she want to do with her baby, she can do with her baby.
These
I bet
celebrities
she's honoring one of the elders. I bet you it's one of the elders she's honoring.
But Keisha, you gotta admit, these celebrities get very creative with these babies.
All people do, not just celebrities. People, period.
No,
yeah, they really do.
At this point, we all running out of names. So that means we need to stop having babies. I think that we just running out of names. Now we just naming them anything. We need to stop now.
It's a celebrity that named their baby Jesus' Mercy. And don't get me wrong, I'm a big fan of Jesus' Mercy, but that shouldn't be the name of a person. That's all I'm saying. Like, they getting out of hand.
I'm just saying, they go far
and they be touched.
And they got money to name their kids. Like, if I name my kids something like that, they not getting a job. If they name their kid like that, that's just Puff Daddy, baby. Like, he gonna get whatever he want. But if I name my kid something crazy, they gonna like Trishonda Veronica. Oh no, you ain't getting no job. They gonna throw that in the trash can.
Names, but it's names is names. But you know what?
They creative. I mean, my name is creative. I mean, I can't talk. I mean, I'm Shanae. I done got Shanae, Shannany, all kind of things. So, I mean, I get it. Like, I get it. We can relate, but I'm just saying, it's 2023. I was a 90s baby. The creativity just gets a little bit more courageous, is all I'm saying. They just go a little bit.
You know what? That's a very good way to put it. The creativity get more courageous. That's a very good way to put it.
Yes, they just going out laughter. I ain't mad at them. I ain't mad at them. I wanted to talk to y'all about some personal development because, Kesh She today, she going to handle the networking portion. And I'm going to talk to y'all a little bit about some examples of personal development real quick. I got like 21 examples, but they brief, they short. So the first thing is to embrace empathy. Like, a lot of us, we not as empathetic as we should be or can be. So embracing your empathy, learning how to be empathetic is an example of developing personally. Confidence, goal setting, being persevering, listening actively, which is very important when you're personally developing. You gotta talk and you gotta listen. You gotta listen to people so you can understand what they're trying to tell you. Make fear your friend. Do you dare? That's what I put by it. So you gotta dare yourself sometimes to do some stuff. Like, remember when we was kids and we'd be like, I dare you to go and knock on Mr. Pookie door and we gonna run. Sometimes you gotta dare yourself to knock on opportunity door and see if somebody gonna answer. We ain't gonna run this time like when we was kids though. But dare yourself to knock on opportunity door and just see what happened. So make fear your friend. Improve your body language. Like, people can tell a lot about how you feel, about your facial expressions, how you're sitting. That's why we try to sit with posture and poise and grace, especially us ladies. We sit with posture. We walk with posture when we wear our heels. Stuff like that is very important in your personal development because people are always watching you, okay? They's always looking and they always watching and waiting to see, okay? So improve that body language. Get along with others and stop saying you don't like people. I don't know who needs to hear that, but stop saying that. Get along with other people and stop saying you don't like people. Stop saying I don't like people. I'm not a people person. Kick that mindset and start getting along with people. It will make your connecting more easier.
And as on this stage, if they can't get along with themselves, they definitely can get along with people.
Yeah. But when you say you don't like people, you people
they don't like
somebody.
Themselves. I mean, don't like themselves.
Yeah, you people to somebody. So stop saying you don't like people. Kick that idea you don't like people and start getting along with others, okay? And stop procrastinating. We're going to kick the idea that we procrastinate. Lose the idea that you procrastinate, so you stop procrastinating. You just delayed. You delayed your time. You didn't procrastinate it because you knew what you were supposed to do. So now you're in delay. Okay? So stop procrastinating. Learn to wake up early sometime. I know a lot of us love to sleep. Some of us love sleeping more than we love to do anything else.
I love a good
Learn
nap,
to
especially
wake
two
up
kids.
early.
I love a
Yes.
that's
We
even
will
delicious.
love to value our sleep as parents. I had 3 boys, so it gets crazy around here.
Ooh, Lord.
I have 11, 5, and 3.
Ooh,
About to be
ooh,
12, 6,
Lord,
and
have
3.
mercy. Jesus Christ, Lord and
Yes.
Savior. Ooh, they wearing you out, girl. I know they are.
Ooh, I know
They
that
running you
life.
out.
I know that life.
Yes, but see, I'm the
Lord,
more
have mercy.
firm, so that's why I get silent right now.
I know that life.
Yes. So learn to wake up early to go to bed, and early to rise in the morning. Okay. A man is healthy, wealthy, and wise. Learn to be healthy, wealthy, and wise. Like successful people, they go to bed. They really do. They try to get as much sleep as they can, and they really utilize other people. They delegate. So if I can't do it, I need to pass the baton to somebody that can. Right? So do that. Master the art of conflict resolution. Stop being so confrontational. Everything don't have to go straight into a conflict and argument, especially us in the business realm.
Man, you
Stop
speaking a
doing
word right now.
that. Yeah, stop doing that. We gotta stop doing that. Well, especially in our community, that'd be a lot of the reason why y'all don't be having the returning customers that y'all need. Because y'all don't know how to solve
Talk
y'all
on it.
conflicts. Okay? Let go of the past.
Mm-hmm.
That is, a lot of us have a problem. Oh, we tight. I even struggle with this one. But it is a part of our personal development, and it is a must that we learn to let go. And it is okay to release things that no longer serve us. That's how we have to think of it. You're releasing something that no longer serves you. Let it go. Let go of the past. Read more and read often. I really do encourage these things. You either read 10 pages a day or 25 minutes. Pick your poison. Either way, read more, read often. Become more resilient and an ability to overcome any type of adversity. Resilient, you're going to need some thick skin in this entrepreneur realm. You're going to have to develop some thick skin. So you're going to need some resilience to get to that other side. So you got to keep going. When they don't buy, you got to keep going. If you feel like nobody hearing you, you got to keep going. You feel like nobody talking to the earth, you still got to keep going. Keep showing up. You got to keep showing up. Okay? Learn to manage your stress effectively. That's why I kickbox. That's my form of personal development and getting away my stress. I kickbox, I work out, I might jump some rope, and I love punching stuff. So that's my jam. So find out what helps you relieve your stress. It could be yoga. It could be, I seen trap yoga recently. It's something that I definitely do want to try. So, just venture out. Don't be scared to try new things. Ignore limitations. Most of these limitations that you put on yourself are things that you created in your own mind. It's nothing nobody told you or anything that you couldn't do. Like, nobody told you that you couldn't do it. You just put a limitation on yourself. So stop putting limits on yourself. Increase your willpower and become more mindful. That's being intentional. Just being intentional about what you do, what you eat, the people that you surround yourself with, your thoughts, the things that are influencing your behaviors and thoughts. So become aware, increase your power, step into your power, become mindful. Make better decisions. Even not making a decision, y'all, is still making a decision. Even not making a decision is still making a decision. So learn to make decisions. Rather it be the yes and the no be the no, it's still make that decision. Okay? Work on your growth mindset. We talk about mindset a lot here on the podcast. And that's like the main thing that you have to do to create a change or transformation. It starts with your mindset. So that is my spiel. Those are my 21 tips for personal development. And I'm gonna have to hand the mic back over to Furman over there.
Man, awesome stuff, Shay. Thank you with the latest information updates. Of course, we're talking about networking tonight with my cousin Keisha. She's an expert in networking, not just in networking, but developing relationships in the business world, cultivating these relationships, and that's what we here want to do here on the podcast. We want to bring extraordinary information to you to help you take it to the next level in your life. We only got one life to live. We only got one shot. Tomorrow's not promised to us. Matter of fact, 5 seconds not even promised to us. But it's what we make out of it within that time we get. Remember, we only got 24 hours in a day. What are we doing? I know half the time we're sleeping. Are we really working? Are we wasting time? Or like Shay would say, procrastinating? What are we doing within that time? So that's why I invited my cousin to be here tonight, because she's an expert in networking. If you're in the business world, you have to network. You have to talk. You have to really communicate. And I know a lot of times people are scared to talk to people. And I'm going to ask, we'll get more into that as well. I'm going to ask my cousin about that as well. The fear of talking with people. Trauma, I guess, growing up as a child, that we be so scared to speak. But you have to open your mouth in order to get to the next destination in your life. Everything is about relationship. God worked through people. And we have to communicate, because it's not about what you know. It's all about who you know. And who you know can take you to the next destination in your journey. So we're going to be talking about that tonight. So my cousin, she's a book author. She's a public speaker. She's a podcast host. Her podcast is nationwide, all overseas and stuff like that. She's on the road. She's a trailblazer. She's making a lot of noise in her city, of course, and not just in her city, but around the world.
Thank you, cousin.
Well, it's all about giving you roses, and I give you your roses now.
I love roses.
So I did a little introduction, just a tip of the iceberg. So we thank you for hanging out with me, Shay, and Dex, of course. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience that's watching us right now. Of course, we are live streaming on Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook Live all at the same time. So whatever platform you're watching us on, put it in the comment section. Let us know where you're watching us at. And we want to give you a big shout out as well. So, cuz, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. First of all, I was on the podcast. I don't think that was last year. That was maybe a few years ago. I was
a few years ago.
The podcast. Yep. And so I enjoyed everything that you're doing. So first of all, thank you for having me. When it comes to who I am, you have this already up here. That's really who I am. I'm a speaker. I love the power of networking, and I understand the value of relationships. So many times we have people around us not knowing that it's up to us to build those relationships, build those connections, and even start thinking outside the box. If everybody in your network, if everybody in your network looks like you are doing yourself a disservice. If everybody's doing what you're doing yourself a disservice. It's so important for you to continue to build and connect and get past any of those barriers that we put in the way of networking. And it's actually what I love doing and sharing and getting to the meat and potatoes of relationships. Because again, the big thing for me is knowing that our networks equals our net worth, TH. And it's typically the people that you're connected to that's going to help you find whatever you're looking for, whether it's your career, whether it's building your business, whether it's building a brand. It's usually the people that you're already connected to that are typically the people that'll help you. It's the number one way to find what you're looking for is through your network. So that's a little bit about me, and we'll talk a little bit more as we go through these question and answers and really make sure that we are connecting folks. I'm a Toastmaster. I'm a president of a Toastmasters club here in St. Louis. Absolutely love my club, Ascension Health Toastmasters Club. I'm coaching 2 other clubs, one in the California area, and I'm also getting ready to start coaching a couple clubs here in St. Louis local. I'm being vetted out for it, so we get an opportunity to see how we interact and see what they want, see what they need, and see how I can best support them. We have a super successful club. So what I like to do is take it and share it so that people know what we've done and how they can build up their Toastmasters too. And I'm also working on my DTM, which is a Distinguished Toastmaster for any Toastmasters out there. It's the highest reward for Toastmasters in public speaking that I can take globally.
And that's awesome work that you're doing. And also, you can follow my cousin on LinkedIn. I put it, you see it across the screen.
Yes, that's my LinkedIn profile. That's my number one profile. The rest of these sites and social medias that I'm on, they're fine. You can find me there, but you can find me on LinkedIn.
That's it. So I did put it across the screen so you can check it out. Go like no problem, fam. But tonight, and this has really been on me, and of course we've been talking about this share as well. We've been talking about mindset, and what's really on my heart really is to bring information, have people like my cousin who's an expert in what she does. We got a lot of people who wants to be entrepreneurs, business owners, building their brand, but they don't know where to go. They don't know where to start. You have to get out your neighborhood. I said it on Shay live feed this morning. You have to get out your neighborhood. You have to get out. You have to explore, go different places. It's a lot, especially here, if it's the DFW, St. Louis, wherever you at. They have a lot of networking events going on.
Right. Free
events. Just go up and just show up. Talk to people. It's out there for you.
Yep.
Where you in the mall, the grocery store, you name it. It's out there. You just have to get out there. All that introvert mess, that's a trick. Don't be I'm an introvert.
It's a real thing though, Furman. It is a real thing. I know a lot of introverts, but the thing is, here's what they've done. They've mastered their gifts. They know what they want and they create goals around what they want. When you master your gifts and you know who you are, you can pull up in any space, but it takes practice to really understand what your strengths are.
Yeah, and that's the advice I'm excited to have you on here, fam. And like I said, I just really want to see people get to the next level, the next phase in their lives. That's why I want to see it. I want to see your faith. That's why I have an expert yourself who's an expert in networking to bring the effect, the tools, the do's, the don'ts, how to get started, where to go. So I encourage everybody, you watching this, get your pen, get your paper. Really want to educate y'all tonight. And that's why I have an expert on here with me and Shay and Dex tonight, because I really want to see everybody succeed.
Yeah.
I really want to see everybody be successful. People always talking to my, you inspire us because we see how consistent you is with the podcast, and you motivated me and that.
Consistency. Come on.
That's why I tell them all the time, because somebody asked me the other day, I'm going to start a podcast. What advice you can give me? Stay consistent. Have fun. That's all you have to do. Just stay consistent. Don't base stuff in your feelings. Don't get in your emotions. Don't say, well, I feel like doing it today, then tomorrow I don't feel like you just can't.
You're preaching to me.
And we all been there. I know I've been there before too. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's your purpose in life is not a jacket. It's just not something you just put off and put on. It's something you have to wear on a regular basis. That go for me as well.
Yeah,
you have to wear
uncomfortable. You gotta get uncomfortable. If it's too easy, if it's too comfortable, if you can put your skates on, chew some bubble gum, and jump double dutch while you're doing it, something wrong with that. You gotta make sure that you get uncomfortable, and it ain't supposed to be easy. What's waiting on you is on the other side of that discomfort. I say it all the time. Your big thing is waiting for you to say yes to that discomfort. Lean into that discomfort.
Yeah.
I was saying that on my live this morning too. Get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah, lean in.
You got to.
Because you got to.
You got to.
You got to put yourself in certain environments where you feel tight. I mean, when me and Furman went to the city hall meeting, I'm just looking, we both was kind of looking around, kind of like, we don't, it's not that many of us in here, but, we here, we in here. You have to be your own representative. We got to learn to represent. You represent for yourself.
That's right. That's it.
I want to ask you about the Toastmasters, though. I've heard people talk about it. I like, it's something that I've seen, but I never knew how to like really get into it. Yeah. But I'm good at speaking. Like that's something I've been doing since I was a kid. Like my mom would make me speak in like all the award shows and MC, and then I've done all that type of stuff since I was a kid. So. Like, how would I become a Toastmaster? Like, what would I need to do?
And what Toastmasters does is Toastmasters comes alongside with your gifts and talents that you already have, and it helps you polish them. It's about your listening. It's about communication skills. It is about leading conversations, impromptu conversations. The best way to figure out about a club in your area, because it's international. So it doesn't matter where you are. There's probably a club that's meeting where you are, whether it's virtual or if it's in person. You just go to toastmasters.org and you go to the section where it says find a club. Put your zip code in, go visit some clubs, and you will see some of the most polished speakers. Barack Obama is a Toastmaster, Michelle Obama. And if you pay attention, when they eloquently speak and they deliver, you watch their body language. You learn that. You watch their inflections, how they get in and how they come back down. When you see all of those pieces, Toastmasters gives you that polished brand, but it also helps connect you to opportunities. It's international. There's a speakers bureau typically in most areas that you can get involved in. And that's how I've gotten speaking opportunities. That's how I've gotten engagements to go in and speak. And then when I created and wrote my book, it just gave me another leverage to leverage Toastmasters with that. And it's a game changer. And I've been doing it since 2012, and understanding the power in it it's serious. It is so serious.
Yeah. And that's crazy, because I went to an event called a State of Summer event, and like the superintendents and educators were meeting, and they were talking about how they speak. And one person was like, they asked me, was I a Toastmaster? And he was like, no, like this is something that I had to learn, like along the way. He didn't do that. So when you brought that up, I was like, that's something I've heard like a lot, like especially back, like you saying, like 2012. So when I graduated, it was really, really popular. In 2010 when I graduated. So
when you graduated from?
I graduated from Gateway Charter Academy. From high
school. In 2012, 2010?
Yeah, 2010.
Okay, I graduated in 96.
See?
I graduated in 2001.
But that's why you're here to give me the sauce. So Toastmaster.org.
And that's what it's about, sharing resources and then really understanding the power of our voices. That's what Toastmasters does, is really help you understand the power of your voice and really how you own it in any impromptu setting. It doesn't matter what it is. When the microphone slides to you, you've already prepared, because you get to do it in a club setting, and it's an opportunity for you to grow and for you to build in a really intimate setting, depending on that group, and it's safe, and it's backed by years and years and years and years of processes and your manuals. You get so many accolades in Toastmasters. Again, it's international, and it is internationally recognized. If you go to YouTube, you can look up the top speaker. A couple years ago was a woman that looked just like us, baby. She went from whatever city she was in to all the way to the Middle East and competed, and baby, she won. She was one of the top Toastmasters in the world, baby. And when you see how she showed up, when you see the diversity, when you see all of these things, it's going to even inspire you even more to get involved.
Man, that's what's up right there. Public speaking, and this is public speaking. I remember when I first started the podcast, and it was a friend of mine back when I was living in Mobile, and she challenged me one day. She
Mobile?
Said, yeah, hometown, of course. She challenged me one day. She was like, "Firmly, if you're really serious about podcasting, get books on public speaking." I got a couple of TED Talk books on podcasts, because she said you are in public speaking, so get books on public speaking. You speak to the public. And that's them tools will help you out to get out your zone, get out your comfort, get out being shy, but really help you articulate your words. Because when you do speak, you want to speak with authority, right? Authority, with passion. You want to command people's attention. Because when you step out on that stage or wherever you at, you want to command the attention. Yeah. I'm gonna ask you this too, cousins. When I heard this before, they said, I don't know if it's true. You can help me out on this, but they say, when you're on stage, don't get behind the podium, but stay
that podium is a crutch. And if you pay attention to most speakers that are comfortable up there, they won't stand behind it. When you see a person and they stand behind it, they haven't gotten as comfortable with that space, or that's just kind of maybe the parameters of that opportunity. But typically when you're behind that podium, people can't even see you. They can't see your energy. They can't feel it. So I always say, come from behind that podium. And I'm a talker and a walker when I got the microphone. So I'm usually walking and talking, and I'm feeling the people's energy, pulling them in. And, you know, especially when it's Q&A and stuff like that, I think it's so important to come from outside of that podium so that you can connect with your audience, whatever that audience is. That's good, cousin.
Yeah, I heard that some years ago, and I just wanted to make sure that I asked you that to refresh it.
That's good.
And I got a couple questions to you.
Okay.
You already broke how you do. So my second question is, how did you get started networking? You know, we know a lot of people don't get in network, but some who take it to heart. I know Shay, she's passionate about it. But how did you get your start in networking?
It is so funny that now that I look back over my career and over my journey, when I was working on my bachelor's degree in 2003, I was in this cohort of adult learners. I was going through a night class to finish up my bachelor's degree. And we met 2 times a week, and we met one Saturday a month. And I recognized that was where I got the start of actually networking and building and staying and doing it, because those people lived all over the Chicagoland area. I was at Judson University at the time, but they lived all over the Chicago area. It was up to me to really build connection and do things and make sure that I was getting to know them, because we would do certain things, like we would bring potluck. You know, who was going to be the person that was going to get everybody signed up? So I was the person that created the list, got the people signed up, doing all the things. So I was naturally doing those things, and it's been natural for me to connect with people. So that was kind of when I started seeing it from a professional lens. But growing up, I would be the one on the block that when somebody new would come around, I would say, you jumped up a Dutch? Come on, jump with us. You do this. We riding bikes. You want to ride bikes? It's always been in me to include people. That's also one of my strengths as well. And as I think about the power of including people, that's networking, bringing people in, seeing somebody over in the corner and say, you ain't got to be by yourself. Pull up over here. Really looking at all those pieces. It's been in me since I was a kid. I'm starting to pull it out, and I've been pulling it out over these last 15, 20 years, really getting serious about those relationships, seeing how me calling somebody on the phone and say, hey, I was living in Georgia. I'm in the Georgia area. Who do you know in this area? And you know what I did when I called, because it was phone calls then. It wasn't no email. It wasn't emailing. We weren't getting on social media. I picked up the phone, called a friend of our families and say, hey, I'm in Georgia and I'm looking for work. You know what he said? Bring me your resume and I'm going to help you get connected. So I took him my resume, and that was how I found the job at the Medical College of Georgia, was because my family member's cousin knew somebody that worked there, and he didn't do anything. He told me to come in person. We had lunch and he made that connection. Now I had the right experience for that position, but I then saw the power of people, the power of asking for what you want. And if you look at other communities, you all, they already network. We sometimes don't network, which is a reason, again, I wrote the book so we can start understanding that value of networking too. That was a long answer, but yes.
Oh, no, it's good, because I know in our family, it's more social. It's like, nobody don't meet no stranger. If you meet my dad, my dad don't meet no strangers. My dad talks to everybody, and my younger brother as well. He talks to everybody. So I noticed that it runs in the family that nobody
does. And my grandma's where I got it from, Furman. Your great auntie.
Yeah, and it runs in the family of networking, talking to people. I guess it was already in me, but it came on me later on because I was very quiet. I was very quiet.
I know that.
So I didn't really talk much. I talked, but not as much. I just observed. But anyway, just really getting out, being social, getting out, talking. And it starts at the grocery store. And I was listening to a show the other day, Keisha, when the guy was telling guy, be social. Just go, if you go out, tell somebody, hey, how you doing? How you doing? Just speak to people. If you're at the store, you at the mall, Just walking. Hey, how you doing? You just never know.
People want to talk.
Yeah.
People want to talk. I was looking, so I've been juicing since September last year, but a few years ago, I was looking for ginger roots. Listen, cousin, I was in the grocery store and I was like, I know what it looks like if I see it, but I don't even know where they will have it at. I'm looking in the fruit, I'm looking in the vegetables. I don't see it, so I'm looking all over. But there was this older lady that was standing in the area. And come on, cousin, that's my cousin. It was a lady that was standing over in the area. And I said, I'm going to ask her because she probably knows. Baby, I went up to this lady and I said, here's what I'm looking for ginger root. I said, I saw that they had the powder, but I'm looking for the actual ginger root. Where should I be looking at? Where is it at? You know what she did? She didn't even know me. She took me by the hand and took me right over to where the ginger root was. And do you know, she told me all of this story about how she lived in the U City area in St. Louis, how she grew up. She told me about going to middle school and elementary and high school here. She told me all about the history of that area. And I had lived there, but I wasn't completely from that area. So I didn't know all this stuff. But this lady told me so much stuff, you all, and I probably talked to her maybe a good 30 minutes in the store. And I'm telling you, if I didn't ask her that, I still would have probably been in there like, but people want to talk. People want to talk.
Yeah, that is like that experience that you're describing. That happens to me all of the time. Like, y'all don't know how many times people just come up to me when I'm not asking them, and they voluntarily tell me their whole life story.
That means like that you're welcoming.
They feel so comfortable. Like, they feel so comfortable just telling me their whole life story. Like, when I worked in psychiatry, the psychiatrist hated me. He hated me because they would tell me more than they would tell him in the sessions. So he was like, when he realized they would talk to me longer than they would talk to him, he was like, you have to start writing the assessment now because they tell you more than they tell me. And I'm like, okay, cool. But it became like, he started timing me because they would want to talk to me longer than they would be there with him, and he getting paid. So he was like, what do you do? What are you saying to them? And I'm just like, I don't say nothing. I just make them feel comfortable that they have a space to vent. And that's what really made me become a life coach. Because people do it so much to me. I was just like, dang, like you and like you said, people want to talk. If you ask somebody how they doing and they really feel comfortable with you, you're gonna get to hear how they really feeling for that day.
Right. So get ready if you're not.
Yes. That is crazy. I'd be like, why do people feel so comfortable just telling me their whole life story?
Come on, it's been like that since I was a kid. And I pay attention now, and I think about me hanging with my grandma and her elders. And usually when you find me and the elders are around, I'm usually around the elders because I want to sit under them. I want to get their wisdom. And that's just something that I've been doing since a kid. But I recognize my grandma was the same way. It didn't matter where she was at. She didn't meet a stranger. People came up to her. When she passed, Furman, do you know it was wall-to-wall people at that funeral home? Those people were boo-hooing as hard as I was boo-hooing. And it reminds me of legacy, and thinking about the legacy that I leave is really making sure that I'm open and I'm caring and I show love to people. But I also teach my girls the same thing. Because look, Shay, my oldest is 26. I tell her all the time, she's in this space of occupational therapy assistant, and she works with pediatrics. She actually works with older adults now. And the one thing that I recognize with her, and I see her spirit, is when she goes into any medical establishment as herself, because that's what I tell her, show up as yourself. Those people embrace her because she's going to educate them. She's going to help them get back to health. And you know, the one thing she's going to do is laugh. It's going to be love, and it's going to be fun. And that's been like the gist of who I am as an individual, is really showing people that it's all right. There's a bunch of genuine people out here that are okay. I'm telling you, it is okay to connect with people. All of this mean girl stuff that's still going on in the world, that stuff's so dead. And if you're mean girl in real life and you on Facebook acting like you so this and that, you need to get yourself together, baby, because life is too short. Life is short.
It is. And I have to say,
Yes.
I know my dad love your grandma, which is that's his favorite aunt.
She always talked about Furman, baby. That's all she talked about, her favorite Granny. I said, now, Granny, you got a lot of nephews. That's your favorite? Well, one of my favorites.
Yeah, because my dad loved your grandmother, which is his aunt, which is his mom's sister, of course. And I know she used to me and my brother call her grandmother because we didn't know. Well, my grandmother passed before I was born, so she would tell me and my brothers, call her grandmother, grandma, because we didn't have no grandmother, because that was her sister. She passed way before I was born, so I just remember that.
I remember y'all calling my granny. I'm like, that's my granny.
Well, she told us to do that because we didn't have our grandmother, so she told me and my brothers to do that. So it's like, okay, we'll do that again.
She was the best thing since sliced bread, baby, and I would never see what she taught us.
Yeah, and I ain't gonna lie, good looks run the family. All them good looking, all good looking women. And I'm gonna tell you this.
I come in the class.
She's like, yay.
And nobody didn't age. And nobody in our family do not age at all.
Woo.
No.
At all. No, nobody in our family don't age at all.
Uncle Pete's turning 70 this week. He's having his 70th birthday party this Friday, and it's going down in the paint. I'm gonna take some pictures and share them so you all can see him too. But he's turning 70. And he looks so good.
Yeah, the people in our family don't age at all. It's just genetics, but no age at all, period. Everybody looks good for their age. So that was a little break moment, but
I know.
so we gonna get, but I got some meat now. We got some really meat.
Somebody said I want to talk about the mean girls. I want to talk about the mean girl comment.
But
and I want to talk about these groups that people be engaging in and just. Yeah. But go ahead, Furman.
All right, but this is what I want to get to. This is the third one I want to get to.
Okay.
I want y'all to get y'all pen and I want to get y'all paper. If you've been doing it wrong, now you're gonna get it right.
Come on, cousin.
What keys will make anyone successful in networking?
And you know what? I've said this a few times, and if you follow me anywhere on social media, if you follow me in real life, the one thing I would say, the number one key is understanding what your gifts are, understanding what your strengths are, understanding who you are. We tend to look outward for things, but the truth of the matter is God placed gifts within you, and it is impossible to go network, to meet somebody, to connect if you don't even know who the hell you are. I'm really so serious when I say that is the number one key. There's a book that I read in my bachelor's program. I originally read it in 2003. I read it again in 2010. I read it again in 2017. And I just recently read it again. There's an assessment in the book. The book is called The Strengths Finder by Tom Rath. And inside of that book, The Strengths Finder, there's an assessment that you take. I want you to take the assessment, get the book. You can go on Amazon and find the book. And what it does is when you take this assessment, it's going to help you to crack the code and understand what your strengths are. Then once you get those top 5 strengths, remember on Hitch, where Will Smith told her boy, okay, you dance right here. Don't go outside of this space. When you get those strengths, that top 5, I want you to start living right there in that top 5. And what you'll notice once you live within your strengths, everything starts to open up for you because you're not looking around for what you're not strong in. You're focusing on your strengths. Often organizations and people want to put people in spaces where they're not strong at. And the only thing that happens with that is you burn people out. Operate in your strengths. And once you operate in your strengths, that is the number one key to connecting to people. That's the number one key to building any relationship, is knowing what you bring to the table, period.
Man, So that's some keys right there. Like I said, I know me and
That was good. That was good.
I know me and Shay, we go to the gym, we work out, and people sometimes, people just come up to you and talk. I mean, it was a little machine I was working on, and this old elderly guy came up, help us with the machine and stuff like that. But that's another place too. If you like working out, there's a lot of people in the gym.
Sure is.
They will come talk to you, and they will ask you. Well, they just come talk. You have conversation. You just never know. So whatever you're a part of, start getting out, start opening your mouth. It's really on you. And my next one is, I'm gonna skip that. We already talked about that.
Okay, we did. We talked about a lot.
Yeah, we did.
And the key also in that whole networking piece is the follow-up. And I said that earlier too. When you connect with people, it is so important to follow up. So say if you were at a networking event, say if I went to a networking event, and I went to an event the other day, and I'll tell you what I did. So I met about 3 or 4 ladies that I had known already. Now, one of the ladies said that she was already following me on LinkedIn, but we hadn't personally connected. What I did is once I left that event, they had given me business cards. I went on LinkedIn, I connected to them right away. I sent messages saying it was so great to meet you at Venture Cafe in St. Louis. Thank you for being there when we did the panel, because I led a panel. So always send that follow-up message. And in the message, ask yourself, before you send the message, what do you want? Do you want the connection? Maybe there's somebody that you can learn from. Maybe there's somebody that can learn from you. There's so many buckets that people go into, but you want to make sure that you understand and you ask, what do I want? Okay. Am I just wanting to network? Am I wanting to be in these spaces? Are they somebody that can help me get connected? Are they somebody I can help can get connected? When you think about the value add, it goes both ways. I don't want you to think about what I can get from people. Get out of that mentality, because when you connect with somebody for the first time and you trying to sell them something or you trying to get up on them, that turns people off. Build the relationship first, and everything that's supposed to happen in that whole networking process, it will happen naturally when you operate from a space of, let me add value. How can I add value? Always ask yourself, how can I add value?
Just like the Bible says,
So true.
To give and receive. And that really ties into the next question I will ask you. That probably sums up. I know you're going to add some more to it.
Okay.
What would be the don'ts in networking? I know you said something. You said the first.
Yeah.
Is there any more that people need to know?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Here's a big thing that I always say. There's this acronym that I always use. It's called TEST. TEST. T-E-S-T. Type TEST in the chat, you all. TEST. T-E-S-T. And here's what the TEST stands for. The T in TEST is for time. Know that time is valuable. That's the one thing you can't get back. The E is for energy. The E is for energy. If your energy's off that day, don't go to the event. If you know you ain't feeling right, you ain't feeling good, you off today, it's okay to say, you know what? Not today. I'm not going to do it today. The S is for secret sauce. Get out of this frame of mind of thinking that somebody can steal your secret sauce. You can give them the blueprint, Shay, and they won't be able to do nothing with it. Absolutely nothing. And the last piece of the test is T. The last T is truth. Somebody is waiting to hear your truth. When you meet people for the first time, get away from feeling like you got to name drop. Don't name drop. Feeling like you got to brag. You don't got to be braggadocious, because you know what's going to happen? All of your gifts are going to shine anyway, naturally. People going to see you. You don't have to feel like you got to walk around and you have to advertise. It is naturally going to happen for you. And I want you to think about everything in that mix. Your secret sauce is yours. Get out of that frame of mind of thinking somebody going to steal it from you. So don't do those things, because all it's doing is limiting and it's hurting you in the process. Don't do it.
And I mentioned something. I'm going to go back to the E. You said energy. If you're not feeling it, don't do it. So either that gonna either make us or break us, correct?
Yes, sir. Because here's the thing.
Every time.
Every time. If you've had a crappy day, let's take an example. You've had a horrible day. Say somebody rear-ended you, kids acting a fool, say this is going on, that whatever's going on. If you go out to an event, period, whether it's networking, a baby shower, birthday party, whatever, you're going to attract to you negative things because you have so many things that has been happening. If you've gone through those things and you still want to go, I would say ground yourself, center yourself first, check your energy. But when you get into that mindset of you're complaining, is this, is that, and everything, this people don't like this, they don't like black people here, all this stuff. If you lead with that type of mindset, the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to get to this event and then you're going to say, they didn't even talk to me. They didn't.
Yep.
It's going to keep going. So again, if the energy's off, be real enough with yourself to say, today ain't the day. And there's been plenty of times where somebody has invited me and I will say, you know what? Get somebody else to do it. Not today. Not today.
Right.
Today. But honor what you feel. Honor what you feel.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm gonna throw a wild card in there too.
Okay.
Protect yourself. When I say protect yourself, because if you're not feeling the vibe, let's say somebody come to you and they invite you to this event, but you're not, it don't mix with your spirit.
Go home.
How do you
leave quick? If it doesn't mesh with my spirit, see, I'm big on energy. I'm big on energy. Let me tell you, I was just at a networking event, and don't get me wrong, I enjoy people. But when I got to this place, it was packed. It was so many people in there. First of all, people still getting COVID. First of all, it was packed in there. The music was almost like and it was just so loud in the space. I'm like, do they really think people are going to connect and network? How you don't even talk if the music is that loud? Those were things that were red flags to me. And you know what I did? Is I left my card. They had this jar where they put business cards for a drawing. I left my card. And do you know I won the drawing? I wasn't even But I had to honor what I was feeling. I had to honor what I was feeling. The energy was so thick when I walked in there. And I was like, I don't know what it is. I couldn't put my finger in it. So I went to the bathroom, came back out, and it's still. So I was like, is this really networking or really kind of what they're doing? But the energy was so thick. I had to protect myself. That's not something that I wanted to sit in. There was a lot of people and people pushing all up on you. And first of all, I don't want nobody rubbing all on me like that anyway.
All right, time to go.
I was like, this ain't it. It took 1 or 2 times. I said, okay, let me get on up out of here because this ain't it.
Yeah, you definitely don't. You don't mismatch your energy. Like, you ain't got to do that. You ain't got to put yourself in environments that don't align. Like, you don't do that. And then some things, like I tell my friends, like, I don't really do a lot of ratchet activities like I used to when I was younger. I try to limit myself to about 3 ratchet activities per year now. I just try to keep it cute now. Like, the stuff that I used to do, I don't really do no more. Not only because I'm somebody's mom, but also because where I'm trying to go and the people the places I'm trying to go is not ratchet activities going on in the places I'm trying to go. So, sometimes you just got to cut that stuff off when you're trying to get to somewhere you're trying to be and you're trying to get to that next person that you're trying to evolve. And that's right. Evolution don't come from the trail rides. And, like y'all be big kicking it. And I honestly, I'm to the point where I don't do all that stuff no more. So I don't be like, I can't hang. Like, I went out last weekend. And I was like, oh my God, I'm out past my bedtime. I get home till like almost 2 a.m. I'm like, I'm being grown out here, right? Like, I don't be doing that. Like, I don't do that. Like, I really don't do that. Like I don't really go. And then I had me a little drink. I had like 2 drinks. I don't do that because I'm in a fitness space, so I don't really drink. So drinking is like occasional for me, very occasional. Yeah. And I'm like a lightweight, like featherweight. Like 2 drinks. I I'm good. Like, I want to go to sleep. Where's my bed? I don't see how y'all do that every weekend. Y'all be lit every weekend. I don't see how y'all.
They can have that.
Yeah, I don't see how y'all do it. And it's like I'm young, I'm still in my prime, like all of that. But I can't even hang. I can't hang.
Good. Yeah.
But that come from you got people that live for the weekend. You got people that's about building their legacy. You got some people that look forward to the weekend. You got some people that's about building their legacy. They forget the weekend. I'm about building my legacy.
Tony Jones says that you want to have a life so great that your weekend is not the retreat from your weekdays.
Ooh, that's right. It flows right in there nicely.
Yeah, like everything just want to be, it's just a great day. Not just because it's the weekend. It's just, today is just a great day.
That's right.
That's
right.
So I'm getting into something else too.
Okay.
We have a lot to see. Okay. This number, and you said something earlier about this one.
Okay.
All right. How can anyone overcome being in fear of talking to people? That made me think about the scripture in Jeremiah when God told Jeremiah, don't be afraid of their faces.
That's right. That's right.
And we could translate that today. People are afraid of people's faces.
That's so good. That's so good.
Yeah, I'm about to say that's good. That's real good.
It is. And as you think about the power of, again, it goes back to knowing who you are. And I'll go back to that and I'll say that over and over again. Don't study me because you won't pass the test. What's that quote? Don't study me because you'll fail the test. Study yourself. Study yourself, approve, understand who you are, know what your strengths are, know what you bring to the table. And again, trust yourself. Go inward. It's the inward work that's going to help you get rid of that fear. But even being prepared, having a game plan. That's the one thing I talk about in my book as well, is having a game plan. Know what it is that you bring to the table. Know what you want. And before you go to these networking events, set a goal. What do you want? If you say, so there's an event that's here in St. Louis every week, Venture Cafe. And Venture Cafe is around the world. And Venture Cafe sometimes has 200 to 300 people there in one night. And there's all sorts of resources. There's activities going on. There's all sorts of things that they can teach you right on the spot. But there's no way you're going to connect to 200 people. Make a goal and say you want to connect to 3 to 4 people. Whatever your number is, 1 to 2 people. Make your goal. Make a SMART goal. Make it specific, measurable, attainable, relatable, and make sure that it's time bound. So say if I'm getting ready to go, I would say that I want to connect to, when I was looking for an IT manager for a role I was recruiting for, my goal was to connect to 2 to 3 people in the industry of information technology by, and I put the date that I wanted to do it by. And so when I left there, I had my 3 people that I wanted to connect with because, again, I set a goal. Never go to these events without setting a goal. That will help you along the way as you're building yourself up, and keep doing it. Don't think you're going to do it this one time. It's going to be perfect. You might jack it up, but keep doing it over and over. And the right people that are supposed to be connected to you will find you. You won't connect to everybody. Let me say that again. You won't connect to everybody. And that is okay. You're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. I don't want to be everybody's cup of tea. I want to be the cup of tea of the folks that mess with me heavy. I don't want you to halfway maybe I like Keisha a little bit. Nope. If you don't like me fully, get out my way. So again, understand what you bring and know that you're not going to connect with everybody. And it's okay. It is. It's cool.
So Bloodline, I'm going to ask you this. Listen what you're saying. It's like you already rehearsed in your mind what you're going to do before you get there. You already rehearsed it in your mind.
That's right.
That makes me think about the Equalizer. You remember the Equalizer?
Yeah.
When he went and go get the girl,
right.
He visualized
ready
what he was already going to do already. See, when y'all watch these movies, y'all need to study these movies. They trying to show you something.
That's right.
That same technique is already in you.
That's right.
So like my cousin was saying, she already visualized what she was going to do. So she already rehearsed it in practice, she would already rehearse it. So
and
when
put
it
some
was
faith behind it.
game time, she hit pinpoints on what she wanted to do.
That's
That would
right.
make you just put that out of me. I just wanted to bring that
Come
up.
on. And think about that faith that goes behind it. Faith is what? The evidence of things unseen.
That's right.
So when you put faith behind what you do, when you put faith behind it, it's going to line up. So couple it with your faith and understand that you don't have to fight against the things that are already set up for you to win. It's already been set up for us to win. The vision has already been set up for us to win. What does it say? Jeremiah 29:11 says what? I know the plans that I have for you. Plans to prosper you and bring you to an expected end. God has already set it up for us to win. Jeremiah 29:11. As you're thinking about everything that you do, know that it's already been set up for you to win. It's already a setup.
That's it. And it starts here.
That is facts. I love it.
That's why the Bible said without a vision, the people perish.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
So you got a vision, you're going to perish. You got to know where you're going. You got to see it before you actually walk into it. That's why people always start. That's why people dress the way they want to dress before they walk into it. That's why people may laugh at you and scold you. What are you doing? That is crazy. It's not crazy. You already vision where you're going.
That's good.
So if I'm,
you gotta be okay with looking crazy to some folks too. You gotta be okay with looking crazy.
And you meant your people if they think you look crazy.
Yes, but faith and fear don't coincide. I agree. Like you can't. They don't really fit in the same place. Nope. Like you. Nope. And fear is not real. I was reading something, and it was like fear is not real, but danger is very real. Right? So fear is something that we kind of create. Like we create fear. Danger is present. Like you can't avoid danger. Like you know danger head on, but fear is something we create. We create fear. So fear isn't real. Fear is only your imagination.
Fear is false evidence appearing real. Fear.
Yes.
False evidence appearing real.
Wow. And that's how we're going to jump in this. So mentorship. Let's talk about mentorship.
Woo-hoo.
You know, mentoring is very needed. I don't want to say popular. I'm not going to say all that.
It is
needed. Do you mentor anyone? I know you mentioned your mentor, but are you mentoring anyone right now?
Yes. As we speak, I'm a part of this program with the United Way chapter local here in St. Louis. And I'm leading a group of 8 women that I'm mentoring currently, young professionals. I'm a part of that this year. And it just recently kicked off at the end of January. We did a selection where now I have 8 women that I get to mentor. And we'll go through this 6-month mentorship where they get to glean from me and get to connect and ask questions. Some of them are aspiring speakers. Some of them are aspiring authors. And some of them are just professionals in their career. And because my background is career development and all those pieces, it kind of fell in my lap. I've been mentoring since I started understanding the value of mentorship. I have a mentor. I actually have 4 mentors right now. And I've constantly been mentoring other people along the journey because sometimes we're the only people that people will have access to. So mentoring for me it's almost like it's within my DNA. It's something that I must do. And I mentor others. I was recently just paired with my little cousin, Ashley Deloach. Ashley is in the HR space. And because I have 25 years of HR, I've been mentoring my little cousin. And it's easy. And all we have to do is say yes, carve out some time. I think everybody within their gifts should be mentoring somebody. We all should.
Yeah, that's what's up right there. And then I'm finna get into the meat of this one.
Okay.
How important it is not to burn bridges with people.
Woo-hoo.
And why would it hurt you in the long run?
That's so good. That's so good. Well, I have a couple different points that I feel on it. Because if you need to burn a bridge because of toxicity, because of harm, because of things that didn't sit right with you, burn that bridge. burn it and don't go back. If it's going to be something that is not feeding yourself, if it's not building you up, if it's not connecting you, it's okay to let that go. Build that bridge and don't go back. That's one thing. Now, when it comes to connecting and building bridges with others, not burning those is so important, because so say if I were to connect you with somebody and I was to get everything set up and you went into business with that person and they went into business just off GP, just because I referred you, and you go in and you take all their money, baby, you set yourself up. But karma is something that's so real. You know how I feel about karma. And karma is one of those things that will come back and eat you alive. So think about the power of those relationships. But I also say this, when you need to unplug from things, don't feel unapologetic. Don't feel apologetic. Unapologetically unplug and take care of yourself. Protect you. You said it earlier. Protect yourself.
And I agree. And I want to put that balance on that, because the good bridges are the ones you don't want to burn.
That's right.
Because you see, okay, let's say you start out with somebody and they all of a sudden, loyalty, they just turn it back on you for some reason.
Right.
And they feel like, I don't need you no more. I made it up here, so I don't need you no more. But then when you come coming down, with the old saying, never bite the hand that feeds you.
Woo!
I've experienced that, and it hurt it to have to let them down. Like, it hurt my feelings to have to say no, but I had to say no, because no. Sometimes you have to be solid in your no too. Like, the no mean the no, and no, don't ask no more.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, the no is no. Yeah, I mean, especially when it comes to business. Like, I was moderating for a large account on TikTok. And like, I know how to help people excel really fast on TikTok. I know how to help you build your social media really quickly. And I know how to help you monetize really quickly on social media platforms. So it was a point in time where I was thinking about starting a moderation agency, because people didn't know how important moderators are, especially people that got thousands of TikTok followers and stuff like that. They can't engage with all their audience. And so this was really a job that we had going on. Be several large TikTok accounts. I moderated for accounts that have 1 million followers. We got thousands of people in the comments. We got 5 moderators. So we had to train these moderators. Like, this was a job. Like, we took this very seriously because we were getting paid. So the girl, once we started with her at about 20K. Once we helped her hit her 50K mark, the goal was to hit 50K before the beginning of the year. We hit it 2 months before time. So we had, like you said, we set a goal. We had the goal. We hit the goal. And then, like Furman said, she just got Hollywood and was like, "Oh, we don't need you no more. I don't need you no more." Or people started to tell her, like, they don't really do that much, so you don't really need them. It's like, we the team though. Like, we the team. Like, and everything was going good. So we was like, wow. So when one day we woke up and we was blocked. And we was like, whoa, what do we do? And somebody had told her that we was trying to steal her shine, which is crazy because you the one with 50,000 followers and we still can't go live yet. This was before I could even go live on TikTok. Like, I done helped you advance so much. I'm behind. Like, I ain't even able to go live on TikTok yet. But once she got Hollywood, and I'm a great connector too. So I'm one of the people, like, I'm hitting up other people to get here, can you put this on your profiles and share this? And you getting she had 1 million views on the thing that she did go viral and get all the traction. She had 1 million views on that. 1.2 million views from a Cash Doll video. I hit up Cash Doll herself to promote the video. Cash Doll, can you put this on your Instagram? She did it. And she had actually had a conversation with Cash Doll about the whole thing. Craziness. But people will talk you out of your own elevation too, y'all. You have to be careful what advice you taking from people, because people will sabotage what you got going on. You have to know where is the advice coming from, a good place or not. Because you might be taking some advice and the advice ain't coming from a place that's going to be helpful. It's coming from a place that's going to harm you, because now she don't got nobody to moderate her account no more. Now she don't have a good moderator. Now she not making 5 or 10,000 a TikTok show, or 5 or 10,000 a live. You're not doing that now because you don't got the team. You don't break up the team. When you in motion, you don't separate the team. When you see everything, and she had learned the hard way, because, like you said, they come back, right? They come back and they like, you was one of the best moderators that I had. I got a 4-minute thing. How much would you charge me? For 4 minutes, 150. Because that's where we at. We wasn't at that level at first, but now this is where we are. I need, for 4 minutes, I need $150 from you, because I already know how much you finna make off of this live. She's like, well, I just cannot, because people will take advantage of you if you let them too.
Her fault.
Yep, that is.
Yeah,
choice that you made. Choice that she made.
So yeah, hello.
It's all about choices.
That's it.
It is.
The next one. What's about legacy? How do you view your legacy, and what do you want people to remember you for?
I'm frozen.
I'm frozen.
I still see you.
Oh,
no.
Oh, well, I was asking, cousin.
I heard you. I heard you about legacy, right?
Yeah.
The big thing is, when I think about legacy, is I want to be known for somebody that cared, someone that offered space for people, and really to make sure that I leave behind really the power of network. And that's the big thing for me, is to understand the power of relationships and think about the beauty of each person, that we're not all the same. We're all different, but really to teach people how to connect with anybody. It doesn't matter where they came from, zip code, area code. It does not matter their race. None of that stuff matters. What matters is the ability to connect with people. And that's why I want to leave my legacy as someone that valued relationships, a little bit like my granny, without being a soprano, but all of that. So I do what I do as a speaker and training and HR and doing all these pieces in that career development piece. I want people to know that it's them. The gifts are within them. And as they sharpen their gifts, know that God will make room. Your gifts will make room for you. But be intentional about sharpening them and stay ready, so you ain't got to get ready.
That's it. And we know this is 23. We know we about to go into the 3rd month of 2023. So what are things you got coming up? I know you got the podcast. You do a lot of speaking engagement. You do a lot of television appearances as well. So what is next on the agenda for?
Yes. So for Women's History Month, I'm sitting on a panel that is in the works as we speak. We're finalizing a few things. That is next month. And then in April, I am on another individual that I met through Clubhouse. If you all are not on Clubhouse, y'all better make sure y'all get on Clubhouse. I've got some amazing connections.
I be trying to tell them, Kesh. I be trying to tell them. They be talking about it's messy over there. No, that's the club that you go in, baby girl. Because I have met some very credible and very great, incredible people on Clubhouse.
I have too. And global. That's the thing for me, is that they're global. So we're doing a Speak Up Women's conference where they're talking about the power of women, and they're thinking about doing it virtual. We'll see. But I also was nominated for the Speak Up Sis Award. It's on my profile, and I'll be getting to travel to Atlanta to receive my award. Well, I'm one of the finalists, so I still need some votes as it comes up. But that's another thing that I have coming up, and I'm just trusting God on the way, because opportunities keep coming.
It is, yeah, that's right. Because I know you tell me about it. I know I did.
You voted for me.
Yeah, I did. I submitted that. That's what. I also got to give a big shout out to Corey Davis. I'm very excited that Walking His Ways Impact Voice podcast is one of the sponsors for Corey Davis. Corey Davis is doing boxing, so he reached out to me today, And of course, I gave a financial donation. He was truly the real. He said, "I'm gonna put your logo on the stuff and everything else." So,
Oh, go Cody!
so big shout out to him. It's a blessing to be able to give. And that's another
It
thing,
is.
people, man, y'all give. Don't just talk about it, be about it.
Yeah, baby.
It will come back to you. Give and it should be given.
Pressed down, shaking together, and running over.
So give, and when you give, it's gonna come back to you. Sow seed. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna come back to you. Especially you see somebody that's doing something they love to do. Support. It ain't all about the money. Share. Just share stuff. Go on YouTube, subscribe, hit the notification button. It's that simple. But if you want to bless people financially, do it. And that means a lot to anybody that's doing great things. I'm very surprised. I'm very happy that Walking His Ways Impact Boy Podcast is sponsoring him in his. I think he's going to do it in three. It is within 3 weeks. So he's very excited about his trip with boxing and stuff. Shay, go ahead and plug up. I know you got the women with purpose. Did I say that right?
Yes.
Okay, I know
it's the Women with Purpose tour. Yes, we have about 19 days now to be exact until the Women with Purpose tour will be March 19th at 12 noon. I will be a keynote speaker. I am very excited. It will be my first stage. Well, actually, not the first stage that I get to grace, but in my adult life as a keynote speaker. So I'm very excited about the opportunity. Shout out to Sabrina Ford for providing this platform for us women with purpose and men with purpose on this tour. So y'all definitely want to get those tickets before it's too late. Okay. Also, March the 11th, I am the secretary for Stars United Global Outreach, which is a program that helps children excel in entrepreneurship. We teach them about financial literacy and leadership skills. So this is something that I'm so happy to be a part of. And we're going to have a appreciation gala for some of the community here in Dallas. So if you want to tap into that, get to know some of the leaders around in your community, especially if you have children, this is definitely something you want to tap into. They'll be talking about like summer programs and things like that, which I feel like is really, really important to get involved in. Let's get our kids involved in these programs so we can set their bar really high, get them the opportunities that we did not get exposed to and that we did not have. We give that to them and then pass the baton because we ain't gonna be able to run forever. So we got to pass the baton, right? So with that, March the 11th, if you want to attend the appreciation gala, I will post the link in the comments because the link is a little donkey. So I will post the link in the comment section if you want to go ahead and do that. And if you have a child, I want to sponsor one kid. So if you are a parent and this is something that you want to do and you might can't afford it for your child, reach out to me. Let me know. If there's something that you want your child to attend, let me know because I want to be able to put the child in that type of environment. Like remember when we was little and we had a big brother, big sister, somebody to take us under their wings and they might take us and go shopping and get your little suit and tie or whatever and get your dress and your prom.
She lost content. Yeah, on end. But like I said, man, we having a great time here on the podcast. Nobody ready to get off the air, of course. So, cousin, you have any final remarks you want to leave with the listening audience? But like I said, we are live streaming on Twitter right now, Facebook, of course, and YouTube. So, what final remarks you want to leave with the audience?
Get out and do something. You got to get up, get out and do something. How can you make it if you never even try? You got to get up, get out and do something. You got to do it and really think about what it is that you want. Ask yourself, my mentor, Bernie Frazier, always says this. What do you want? What do you want? It sounds easy, but it's a serious question that you have to think about as you're continuing to build. What do you want? Look forward to the expectation of what you want. Stay in expectation and constantly stay looking for what you want to do. But do it. You got to take action. You don't hear me say anything else tonight. You hear me say take action.
Hey, that's it. That sums it up right there. We will be back here tomorrow night in the podcast. We're going to be talking about Narcissism tomorrow night with a
Yes, thanks for having me too.
Oh, you're welcome, because I appreciate you taking time out your productive schedule to be here. I know it's short notice. You know how it all started. I thought I had a show planned for the night. I said, I looked on the I didn't have a show planned. So I'm glad I reached out to you. Glad it's
I'm glad you did, because it worked out. And I'm getting ready to get off here and eat. I appreciate you having me.
I appreciate you too. So we're about to get off the air. And I want to tell everybody, remember the graveyard. Everybody had one thing in common. They thought they were going to see tomorrow, and they didn't. Let's live life like it's our last. And most important, man, before you get ready to go to bed tonight, look yourself in the mirror. Tell yourself, I love you. Tell yourself, I got your back. And also, if you're in the DFW area, you got the Women with Purpose Tour. Go to womenwithpurposetour.com and use Code Shay on special discount code Dynamic1 to receive $10 off your ticket. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're in the DFW area, go ahead and support. Big shout out to Sabrina Ford. She's the host of the Hidden Image podcast that broadcasts live here in DFW. Big shout out to Dexter as well. Big shout out to my cousin Keisha also for hanging out with me tonight. Big shout out to Shay as well. Man, I love all y'all. Man, I appreciate this love and support. And I'm about to get off this thing too, because I got to get to go to work on the podcast. Because, you know, you got to edit stuff. You got to send this stuff out. You got to send that stuff out. But I love what I do. I really do. And like I said, man, y'all have a great night. We're about to get out this thing. And, man, love the hell out of yourself. And most importantly, man, be who you want to be. Create the life you want to live. And I will see you tomorrow night here on. By the way, also big shout out to the Corn as well. The Corn will be with me tomorrow night also. So, man, y'all have a great night. And I will see y'all tomorrow on Walking This Ways Impact Wars Podcast. We got this thing. Peace.
Yeah, what's up with it? Do it cause I love it and I stuck with it. We ain't with the subbing in the cut with it. Please none of the talks, I heard enough of it. Like, what you gonna do? Where you at? Who you with? You ain't really about this, don't talk about it. Really on the move, on the map, never slip. Keep your hands to your lips, don't talk about it. Real eyes, real lies all the time. Stand on it, if we said it, we don't walk around it. Loose lips, ain't ships, red cup, blue strips, new phone, who this? No, we don't allow it. Really on go, I don't know what's an off day. Now we on road, came from smoking in the hallway. Now we got shows, boys feeling like Broadway. Always look both ways, even on a crossway. Driving down Cross Bay, out town Barclays. Really on big things, came up a small way. Championship rings, baby, that's a ball game. Oh, she want a little bag, baby, that's small change. Yeah, that money talk. If we ain't cool, then cut me off. No breaking news, don't run.